going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Let's Chat, which is kind of my weekly odd sit down and chat session where we discuss the issues that might concern me, you, or anyone else, because the truth of the matter is I don't have all the answers and neither do you, but together I'm sure we can come up with a couple of solutions. Today I have a very special guest, quite a gangster amongst men, if I'm to be honest with you. DJ Vin Groovin's in the house. How are you doing?
What's up, man?
Yeah,
Hey.
so this week's topic is kind of working hard and getting to where you want to be and, chasing your dreams. A lot of this year has been me kind of laying that down for you guys and speaking about where I'm at headspace-wise and where I want to be in the future. And for me, a huge role model is seeing how hard Vin works and seeing all the awesome opportunities he's made for himself. So I thought, who better to get on the Let's Chat than Vin over here. Vin, for those 3 people who don't know who you are, do you want to tell them a bit about yourself?
Okay, well, a quick wrap. So the name's Vin Groovin. That's what's known, the alias known out to people. My real name's actually Vincenzo. And about 4 years ago, I decided that I really love music more than the average human. And I decided that the books weren't for me anymore. So I left varsity and I decided that I was going to give music my all. And I went through to do the DJ 101 and 102 courses at Soul Candy and just fell in love with local house music. Learned to play the bass guitar and just started learning about music and approaching promoters and clubs as a DJ. Really didn't know what it was about, and I just had people who believed and followed in me from house parties in high school, and then one thing led to another, and it just started growing and growing and growing. And I decided to build a brand instead of just be a DJ. So I dropped the DJ, started Vin Groovin. Lying in bed, I came up with the slogan, keep moving to Vin Groovin, because I pretty much always want to keep people dancing and keep a smile on their face, keep them moving.
Yeah, I get you.
No one wants to go to a club and stand still.
No, exactly.
And from there, just generated a huge amount of feet going through doors where I was playing, and I decided that I wasn't gonna take the egotistical route and that I was gonna remain humble, and I kind of said to myself that the way I'm going to remain humble is to understand that if it wasn't for the people who support me, I wouldn't be where I am. And if it wasn't for the party goers who paid the entrance, or the guys who pushed the mixers out and said listen to Vin, I wouldn't be where I am. So as much as the brand has grown, it's not all my hard work. I have to give credit to all the fans and the guys who support us. And, it's really, really, really cool.
For a lot of my audience, a lot of the guys watching are let's say from 17 to 19, 20. And very recently a guy came up to me and he said, where do I start? Because I think the scariest part for everyone is taking that first step, like you said, you thought the books weren't for you and you believed in that and you believed in your music and you took that first step. So what advice do you have for someone who's I don't know if I can even do that, my parents are going to kill me, I don't know if I'm good enough, that kind of thing.
Well, look, I'm not going to say that I had 100% support from both my parents from the get-go, but it's almost like as a parent, I'm not a parent, it's almost like as a parent, they could see how serious and how passionate and committed I was to music. And I think the main advice that I can give to whoever's watching is if you really do believe that music is for you, whether it be in an instrument, whether it be analog or digital, if you're really, really passionate about it, put the time in and see if the time pays off. Don't quit something just because you think that music could be for you. You've got to believe in it and let it completely consume you. And I put the time and effort in to learn every single day, learn how to beat match, learn how to count, what's called catching the first beat, understanding your keys, what songs work, what songs don't work, when to mix, when not to mix. So you really got to put the time in behind the scenes for anything to pay out in the public eye or to a promoter even. There's too many guys who think they could just make a mix and give it in and that's that. Back in the day, it was really like that. I can't take away from that, and to a certain point I do miss it. Because talent spoke 100% for itself. And now, as much as talent does speak, you still need to have the person who can create the opportunity for you if you're unable to do it for yourself. And if it doesn't consume you 100% and you're not passionate about the industry and you only want to do this for what people believe is a huge money-making thing, it's really not. As with everything in life, of course you get ranks. When I say ranks, I mean like the opening DJ won't get paid what the headline DJ is getting paid, if he's even getting paid. It's called doing your hours, and it's very, very important. You actually build respect from the industry by playing your hours. Not to say that people should be playing for free, but it's something that comes up, and it's a respectable thing. I mean, I still do a lot of charity work, charity gigs where the guys throw parties. A very good friend of mine, Tashi, she throws fundraisers, and I always pay for free for her. A couple under 18 socials, one of them thrown by Mark Stens, who does one for St. Dominic's. I mean, those are all charitable things, and that's just giving back. Because it comes back to the love of music, it's not just for money.
That's so true.
I think, sure, yes, money will follow with a bigger opportunity, the bigger stages. The more your brand grows, the more people get into you, but don't do it for the money. Let the money be the cherry on the top, or let the money be something that you use for savings or something, but it's not just for the money.
Exactly. So that's I love the fact that that's coming from you, someone who's like as far as you are, because a lot of the time when people like speak to me privately or whatever, like this, for example, this YouTube thing that's just a very small part of the whole thing. Like a lot of people for me are saying, why don't you do X, Y, and Z and put like 20 million rand into this, or why don't you charge people 50k for a video, whatever the case may be. But like for me, I consume myself with this, like you say, I wake up, the first thing I'm doing is video on YouTube, or you get home, it's video on YouTube, and you're always progressing, and through that bigger opportunities come. A lot of the awesome opportunities that I've had have just been through, like you say, doing your hours. And that's a lot of what a lot of people just want to skip. I don't know if you've seen that, but a lot of people just want to skip, like do one thing and then be like, okay, cool, now it's time to charge 50,000, or now it's time to only work with the top brand or whatever, whatever the case may be. And a lot of the time people we just need to like form a culture where hard work pays off, and sometimes that's what you need to do, is just sit down and grind properly. Because I think the media shows a lot of this is the sickest life, and even on social media these days it's difficult to trust, because obviously your favorite guys are only going to show you like, I'm in the club,
the great part,
like I got a free car for 2 weeks or whatever the case may be. But behind that there's always a meeting, there's always you actually working, waking up 3 in the morning, flipping, concentrating and making shit gets done. I don't know. It's a really important thing that you just keep working. I'm flipping excited that you said that you do this video, because for it to come from me is one thing, but for it to come from you, Vin Groovin, it's a completely different thing, and it's a flipping exciting thing.
For me, I never get over when people talk about like Vin Groovin, almost for lack of a better term, put you on a pedestal, and I never ever get that. I never understand that, because referring back to in the beginning where I said I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for people who support me. I don't believe in the pedestal thing. I don't believe in the having this outrageous ego. I'm just human like everybody else, dude. I mean, you're a friend, and I met you, and there was never ever this sense of
I'm better than you.
that's actually the term we can use.
Yeah.
I'm not better than anybody else, and I'll always give everybody the time of the day. You know, anyone can message me. I'm forever getting messages about advice or direction, and I got given that when I was young. So why wouldn't I pass that on? Why wouldn't I give that? I mean, I don't need to be selfish, and I don't need to be self-centered. I love people. I love dealing with people. It's why a lot of people get along with me, and people always say, "Vin, you're so easy to talk to and friendly and bubbly," but it's because I love people. Dude. I'm not here to walk around with a big head or anything. It comes down to the club goers, and I love it when people come out and say, "Vin, we came just for you," because then I know that my slogan's working, that I'm keeping them moving, and for me, that's important at the end of the day. I want people to have a good time when they go out, and if I'm the one that's providing that for them, along with the supporting lineup, or if I'm the supporting artist for a headline, as long as everyone's having fun, I'm happy about that. An important decision that you need to make, especially when you're in a place of power, when you have people who listen to you, is to lead by a serious example, which is why myself and Community Hours South Africa partnered up for me to host a volunteer with Vin Groovin once a month, and just give back to those less fortunate and those who really need it. We've had some heartwarming moments. It's really, really important. I do believe that there's always somebody who can use that 100 Rand more than you, in terms of the value. So 100 Rand to you may be 1,000 Rand to somebody else. We've seen some really, really crazy things, and that also just keeps me grounded as well and humble. It's kind of sad to know that sometimes you look at people, and because they're less fortunate, now you're like, that's a reason to be humble. But I take it with as much good as I can, and I'm like, you know what? Yes, their bad situation and their unfortunate happenings, lack of opportunity, it's just something you have to use to be grateful for, and try and empower them as much as you can, and try and help as much as you can.
So once again, thank you so much, Vin, for joining me on this little Let's Chat forum. I know it means a lot to me. It means a lot to a lot of people who are actually watching, and for people like me, the time of day means a lot. So thank you very much, genuinely. It's been an absolute pleasure. Make sure you check out all of Vin's stuff below. Make sure you blow up your social media, and not that he needs it, but let's get it done, guys. So once again, Vin, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been awesome.
Sweet.
No, go for it.
I do hope that this has helped with anybody who's had questions or doubts or misleading direction. But thank you. Sorry that it's taken a week to organize, but
no stress at all.
At least it happened.
I'm happy it happened. Till next time, guys, let's chat.